Hi, welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Sabrina Register. We're in Vancouver, Washington today, the Association of Washington Cities and its annual convention. And joining me right now is Kelly Linville, who is mayor for the city of Bellingham. Beautiful Bellingham.
Beautiful Bellingham.
Yes. Mayor, thanks so much for coming on the program. It's so nice to meet you.
Well, it's great to be here, and I'm going to promote Bellingham all I can. I'm fourth generation, so I've lived there my whole life, and being the mayor is spectacular.
Fantastic. And you're new to the position, but you're certainly not new to city government. So give us a little bit about your background.
Well, I was in the legislature for 17 years. I actually ended up being the Ways and Means chair, was 4 years ago now. And it was a wonderful experience. I loved representing my community, but it was very divided between the county and the city. It was kind of a mini microcosm of the state. So being in Bellingham, it's much more homogenous, but of course there are still conflicts. And being a legislator prepared me very well for being a mayor.
So what's kind of top of the agenda? What do you hope to either continue on or perhaps change? What are you prioritizing?
Well, I ran for mayor because there's a lot of things I'd like to change. I did run against an incumbent, so obviously I had some questions about budgeting, how we set our priorities, how we managed our staff, how we interacted with the public. So those are all things that I'll be working on. Of course, right now we're developing our budget. We have a $1.7 million shortfall for this year because the budget wasn't really balanced when it was passed. So we're focusing almost entirely on the budget.
And how are you going to balance that budget?
When I was a legislator, I passed a bill that Governor Gregoire signed, which was called Priorities of Government. And we are actually doing that in the city of Bellingham. When we had our first staff retreat, we read a book. It was called Great by Choice. So we could have a common vocabulary about how we talked about what are essential services and how do we make decisions about what we're going to fund, what we're going to suspend, what we're going to reinvent, and what we're going to eliminate. And we do this every Monday morning for an hour and a half with all 13 department heads, and we're having a city discussion about our budget and our work plan.
I would imagine sometimes the discussion, though, can be tough. I mean, you got to make some decisions, and they're not always popular.
Well, I had always thought, first you look at what you have to do. So the federal government tells us we have to do things, and the state government does. I take credit for some of those. The department heads think that's kind of funny when I say, yes, I did that one. And then we have ordinances. And then we have things that we just do that are current practice. So we are focusing, every department did that kind of analysis, and we are focusing on the current practice things that are not required by the state law, the federal law, or ordinances. We're creating teams to work together, and we're identifying, I think we have 5 areas where we think that departments can work together, like GPS, or finance, or payroll, or things that people are doing by themselves that we think that we can do better if we have kind of a centralized service for that.
I think you touched a little bit on this, but you are employing the SMAC principles. I love that. Specific, methodical, and consistent. And you want to apply these to government in Bellingham.
Well, the interesting thing about SMAC principles is you get to develop them yourself. So the department heads and I actually went through, we had read the book, we went through and we actually came up with our own unique for Bellingham SMAC principles. The ones in the book are applied to Boeing and Microsoft and some of the large corporations that have weathered the bad economy. And cities need to be able to weather the bad economy and still deliver the services that they're required to do and that their constituents and their citizens expect them to do. So ours are things like fix it first. We have targeted reserves. We have, we have 11. We have 11 of them. Due diligence. I mean, just stuff that you should be doing anyway, but that we weren't doing in a real systematic way.
And we're out of time. Mayor, thanks so much, Mayor Linville.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks for watching Comcast Newsmakers.